Good evening, good day, good wherever you are. Hope all is well. Alafia, peace be upon you. Happy Easter, Passover. Tonight, we're going to talk about oneness. I'm on my kick about oneness and how much separation is going on. But before we get there, I got a couple things I'm going to do different this is still a surprise. I didn't even tell my brother Derek. We're going to do this gumbo that's inspired, this red sauce okra gumbo that's inspired by my Portland mother. When I came here, she kind of adopted me some 35, 36 years ago. Rita Benjamin, she's passed now. So this gumbo I'm going to make, it's not really the gumbo I make, but it's a different gumbo because it got tomatoes in it. She would be like, ugh. But that's how she made this okra once before me. And I'm calling it okra gumbo, Rita Benjamin style. But what I want to show you is that I did some prep. I was on here earlier. I went on Facebook a little before we started. I shared it with you guys. Everything's prepped. And if you prep and start putting things together on weekend, you can have wholesome, full. I like that word, wholesome, like wholesome bread. When I was little, I hated that. That shit was nasty. But anyway, you can have a wholesome meal, and you can have a dessert that's fresh. Get that, a fresh dessert. I'm gonna show y'all when we started because my dad asked me. My dad and mom live in Chicago. I live here in the Northwest in Camas, Washington. And my dad said, I asked him like, I made him some caramel popcorn. I got some in there. I'm gonna send him some caramel popcorn. I said, what else you want? He said, Dad, Johnny, I would like some chocolate chip cookies. Bam! You guys gonna see how long it takes. So I'm gonna do the meal. I'm gonna put the cookies in right now. And very important that when you start baking, use your timer so you don't get distracted and your shit get burnt. Okay, I'm putting it there on regular oven. It's gonna be 13 minutes. Okay, and in a convected oven, I would do 11 minutes because the air is circulating. And this one's just gonna cook regular style because I don't want the fan distracting me while I'm cooking because I'll go crazy, cray cray. So anyway, how y'all doing out there? Hope all is well. We're gonna start out with sauteing our sausage, orgasmic conscious cooking. Please, y'all, look. I've been doing this. We got like a bunch of episodes. Derek's been coming out at 8:30 every night. Tuesday nights helping me do this. Show me some love. Can you guys help pass this out? Can you spread the love? If you see this and you see this on YouTube or Facebook, send it to some friends. Subscribe to Being John Asher on YouTube. We are looking for people. And also, I need some guests. Who wants to come on the screen and get sexy with Big J? Okay? Just saying. Just saying. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to use olive oil. Really good olive oil. This is going to be the base for my oil for why I saute things tonight. So the first thing I'm going to saute, because I want my skillet to actually get a flavor, is going to be my sausage. It's going to get in here, and it's going to turn this up a little bit, and it's going to actually, okay, it's going to actually give the skillet some seasoning. What I have is one hot link, and I would use more hot links, but my wife is going through some stuff with her taste buds, so I don't want to be overbearing with pepper. So I have one hot link, and this is a hot link, and then I have no, I'm sorry, there's a pepper, and this is a hot link. The other two sausage are andouille sausages. Okay, we'll drop that in here. I'll put them right back on this plate afterwards, but I just want to actually get this oil to have some flavor. I'm gonna saute these up. Put the top on it, let they do their thing. Turn this heat up. We're gonna have to hit the things really hot. It's 6:34. I'm telling you, you can actually start to make meals at home and not go out. Now, I've been going out a lot. Y'all can tell I'm a big boy. I like to eat. Lately, ain't no more love in the food, and I think it's because we're doing all this fucking separation. Okay. Plus the ingredients that they use. Tori and I went to a restaurant. I'm gonna put them on blast. We had a favorite restaurant that I called the Cove. The Cove restaurant was my favorite restaurant when it first opened up. Last couple of times I went there, I was just like, what happened? It's like dating somebody after the third date, you'd be like, get the fuck away from me. Y'all like that move? Yeah, I'm walking too again. Yeah, I'm feeling myself again. But anyway, when you cook at home, you can put the love in it, and you can actually control the ingredients that you put in that thing called your beautiful body. Okay? The oneness. Oneness starts with you. Okay? And what I mean by that, oneness really does start by how you are, how you show up with you. Right now, we're doing a lot of separation. I'm not a big basketball person, but a couple weeks ago, we had in the United States, we had this girls basketball, and I didn't watch the game. I was out of town, I just kept on catching glimpses of what people were saying. Let me turn this down a little bit. Okay. So I want you guys to see something. I'm going to lift this skill up so you can see something. So what's happened is that I kind of browned these sausages a little bit. I want to kind of seal them. Now I'm taking them. Now you might say, why you put them back on that same plate? Because they're going to go in the sauce afterwards. But what I wanted to do is I want to give it some flavor. So the skillet has been kind of seasoned without me knocking the skillet on the floor. It's been seasoned. So now what I'm going to do is take some more of my olive oil and I'm going to start breaking down my vegetables. I'll get back to what I was talking about in a second. Okay. So what I'm going to drop in here next are my onions. Saute these up a little bit. When you're cooking, that's a half an onion, y'all. Half an onion, okay? What I want to do, I want this to get kind of translucent. And what I'm going to do is drop my favorite thing, one of my favorite vegetables. And when I was meditating, if you take, this is my boy Derek. Like, you ain't got no fresh okra. We live in the Northwest. We ain't got no fresh okra right now. We got frozen. I went to Winkle and I got me some frozen. It's one package of frozen cut okra. And I know when Derek put that, what's one package? It's actually 16 ounces, which I think is a pound of okra. So what we're going to do is, no, I'm going to do that last. I want some tomatoes to start. No, I don't. No, I don't. Okay. I'm going crazy. I'm dropping my tomatoes in your neck. I want them to start to break down. That's 2 Roma tomatoes. I don't know if you can find Roma tomatoes where you are, but they actually do the job. Okay. Put the top down here. Let's just do a little bit of cooking. Talk about what I wanted to talk about. So the NCAA tournament was in the United States, the girls' tournament, and there was 2 sisters playing basketball. One African American, the other one European American. And they were talking shit, like Magic and Bird or Jordan, whoever, talking shit. What we do in this country, not the basketball players, but the commentators, who some of them motherfuckers never played a sport in their life, and I can say that because I did play basketball back in high school, they start talking about things that didn't pertain to the game. How this one sister was dressed, what she was wearing. They didn't talk about how well she was playing. Because the problem with it is, in the United States, we do this separation and we find anything to do separation. We can't celebrate that, hey, this is one country playing 2 teams in the same country. Let's celebrate that. We got to go to being weak asses. Yeah, I'm going to get to that, y'all. Just 1 second. So I want you guys to see a little bit what this looks like. That's what that's looking like so far. Donna, what's up? Smells yummy. Thank you, Donna. Yes, it's getting there. So what I'm going to do, I got 6 minutes for my cookies. I'm going to drop my gumbo in here. No, I'm not. One more thing to dress is up in it. It's going to give some of my sweetness, my corn. So what this corn is from is for this summer. What I do is I go to a farmer's market or I go out to farms in this area and I buy corn on the cob and I shuck it first. And what I do is I put it in the freezer bag so that in the wintertime or early spring, I have fresh corn. Now, what's going to happen with this corn is this corn is some of the best. I'm silly. Yes, I'm always silly. I like being silly. The corn is going to give it a sweet back. The sugar content of the corn and tomato is going to give it this, which I really enjoy. Pretty soon I'm going to add some wine. I'm going to talk about what type of wine and what quality wine you want to use. Cut this off like this so this is ready. Okay. Have you guys ever seen okra? For those who've never seen it, might be someplace they haven't seen okra. This is okra if you can see it. I don't know if you can get, I wish that was there. Can you get closer than that? So I would walk around there and put it closer, but I'm not. Okay. It's jumping out into the sausage. It says it's hungry. So put that right there. So going back to what I was talking about. So in this game, it was one of the best, most followed games in the history of the United States for women's sports. And I just thought it was kind of interesting, grown ass people doing separation. You love okra, Donna, I do too. Now, okra sometimes has a tendency of turning kind of slimy, slimy, blimey. But I'm gonna show you a trick that Rita showed with me by putting acid. That's when I add wine. Okay. So I got my okra. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. Now the other thing I'm gonna add in here is my garlic. It's 4 cloves of garlic. Now we're gonna put the top on and let it do its thing. Hi Sarah, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How's it get better than this? I'm looking for guests to come to my kitchen or me go someplace and cook with them, especially if I do some classes. I'm planning on doing a bunch of classes this summer, some access counts, some other classes that I plan on teaching, and I would like to cook while I'm out of town for people who have nice kitchens or not even nice. I want to show people that you can cook any place if you have love for it. You just have to show the love. Okay. So getting back, and the reason this is one, so if those who are new to the show, what I do here is I cook a meal and I also give an ingredient of consciousness. And today's, ingredient of consciousness is oneness and what's happening to it. Long story short, both girls after the game talked about, hey, I wish you guys would focus on the game, not our personalities. You don't do that for men. Matter of fact, the day before, the men were talking shit and nobody ever mentioned anything of it. But in our country, we like to pick on 2 things: people that you see or think or perceive that are less than you. Bullshit. I'm calling you out on that shit. And if people don't like what I'm saying, anyway, I'm about oneness. And if you start picking on people trying to make people less than, I have problems with that attitude. Okay. I digress a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm not. It had to be said. Okay, this is turned up. So I want you guys to see a little bit. Now I want you to see also when I cook, there is something that I look for called the visual orgasm. The visual orgasm and orgasmic cooking. I want you guys to see this. You see that? Look at those colors. They're jumping out at me like, woo! So, get rid of some of this stuff over here. So, why oneness, you might ask? Oneness, today I was with some sisters at my lunch break. I got on a call with some sisters in California, and they were talking about pollutants of the planet. And they asked me to join this call with them when I was in San Francisco, and I said, sure. And I was like, well, I'm not a big environmentalist other than I'm living on planet Earth, so I'm kind of cautious about how we live in. And we started talking a little bit. And I said, well, one of the things that I find in this pollution is people speak ill of others. People speak violence. People speak racism or sexism. And I'm not somebody. I know people make jokes about people, and I'm not saying that there's a place to joke about stuff, but the separation that we do is just maddening. And one of the people that I was speaking to asked me, "What do you think is creating some of the concerns or the crazy weather patterns on Earth?" I said, and this is me being John Asher, the hippie dude that I am. I believe that some of this is designed from the pressure of the people towards Earth, and Earth is like, what the fuck's wrong with these people? You know, can't they get over this? I mean, they've been here together on this planet for how many years, and they still dealing with bullshit? You know, here's the thing that's kind of funny with me with the whole piece and why I think it's hilarious. Do you guys realize that a lot of people have differences and they attack people for biological purposes? It's like looking at a tree that's designed to live in the desert compared to a tree that lives on the side of a mountain in the snow. They have distinguished characteristics that make them different because biologically they're adapting, their bodies or the trees or the plants have adapted to a certain place. But humans who reason, we're supposed to be better than other animals. We use those things and divide ourselves among those differences. And I'm not here to debate who created what. All I'm saying is the shit needs to stop. Verbal pollution needs to stop. You know it, baby. Verbal pollution needs to stop. And it affects all families. Affects my family, your family, and what will we do? When will we do something different? Let me give this cookies one more minute. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys see. Uh, and I don't want to become too preachy. When I say preachy, this is conscious. My goal of this is to figure out how we can have more oneness so that we can really fucking start enjoying being present on planet Earth with each other. What would it look like if we could really celebrate the differences? And some of our governments have to go. Those governments that are creating more of that separation and one person over another and lying to people, not you know, what happens to the government being for the people, not the government being for the people, period. What would that look like? Okay. So this is becoming very yummy. I'm gonna change some things up that I did not do before. Okay. So when I cook, put this on so this keep on cooking down. Okay. I use very good wine. Let's look at the cookies, y'all. Okay, yes. They're ready. Voila. So dessert is prepared. How about that? Stick these others in. See, I'm sending these to my pops. So your dessert's ready for a meal, right? So you have company, your family, and these cookies taste. Ship Ahoy ain't got shit on me. I'm King Kong. Can you name the movie? I need to get this wine here. So why do I use really good wine? I don't buy cheap wine. My wife and I really enjoy good wine. And when I cook, you want to cook with very good wine. You don't want to cook with cheap wine. What I'm gonna do is put a cup of wine in here. So I have wines that I've left over that I didn't drink. Greg, how you doing? I am a fucking wine snob. True that. I bought this wine at Costco. It's but I'm using it for cooking. I might have some for dinner tonight. I want to use a cup of wine in here. So yes, I'm blending the two. So it's going to be a blend. So how you doing down there, Greg? We still haven't been down there to see you yet. So I'm gonna just drizzle my wine over here. I might come back and add a little bit more wine. Turn this down a little bit. Now, something's going to happen in this dish. Okay. Okay. The slime that's sometimes produced from okra, which some people like, some people don't. It's very healthy for the body. Perfect, man. I got to come see you, man. We got to get down there and see you. Okay. So I'm turning this down to simmer because I want this to cook really slow. Next thing I'm gonna drop in here are my sausage because they're ready to go in. They were calling my name. See, Johnny, please put me in the pot. Stir me up, like Bob Marley said. Stir it up. Let's see. Yes, you can find wine. We go from anywhere from Costco. I have a friend by the name of Rick Jensen who really helped me become a wine snob. Okay, and it's his fault. No, I like wine, but he started introducing me to different wines. So I was like, wow, this is kind of interesting. Now I need to go to the seasoning here because I want to add my seasoning to this. On the shrimp, and this is lobster, baby lobster tails and shrimp. That's gonna be the seafood that goes in the very end. What I do is I season my seafood, and I buy this. You buy this online, Fisherman's Seafood Spectacular. I put that on my shrimp because I don't like naked. Well, I like some things naked, but I like my meat to be seasoned. So when I drop in there, it's gonna have its own seasoning. Okay, but how am I going to spice this up? You guys can watch. I'm going to show you how I do this. Like this is probably a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna drop that off in there like that. Granulated garlic. See that? See that? See that? Smoked paprika. About a teaspoon of that. Now, chili powder. Teaspoon of that. Now, I'm usually would use Lawrys seasoning stock, but I found fish bouillon. I might use both, but I'm going to use, but first, okay. Now, my family member, my god brother, has made his own seasoning, and he has this seasoning that's really hot. I'm doing like an eighth of a tablespoon of the seasoning, not even that, because I want the essence of the habanero, but I don't want the habanero heat. So I'm gonna drop it like that. That's like an eighth of a tablespoon of that. I wanted that for the flavor because peppers have their flavor. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do is stir this up a little bit more. I wish you guys could see. I'm gonna hold this up in a second so you can see it. So all these flavors can blend together. And as the wine cooks up, I might add just a little bit more wine so that I can have a gravy because we're gonna serve this over rice. There's someone that's in this. Yeah, you know it's just there's definitely one that's in my pot. Okay, okay. Now I'm gonna take about a tablespoon because it has a lot of sodium in it, but I'm not adding sodium to this dish. I'm gonna drop it off like this, and I might just a little bit more. And I'm gonna taste it. And as you can see, I'm gonna show you in a little bit. The wine is actually cooked up. I'm gonna add just probably about a half cup more wine. So, because I want this to cook down, so it turns into like a gravy. I'm gonna let you guys see what this looks like now. I should have a camera over the top, but I haven't been able to do that. I'm already selling. I'm glad, great. I checked that out. The seafood's not even in there yet. Okay. Heat was hot off of there. Whoa. Okay. I'm gonna taste this and see what it's doing. See, the tomatoes are cooking down. Just probably about, I'm gonna do a half a cup of wine. I'm gonna do probably like another teaspoon of seasoning. Okay, there we go. See how I put this together? And this is actually a blend. This is a red table wine. It's a blend. What grapes? Tell me what grapes are in here. Let's see. Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Syrah, Cabernet Franc, Malbec, Petit Verdot. Yeah, it's a really good blend. It's out of Washington. So the other secret, never ever put your spoon back in there after you lift off the. It's gross. If you do that, you're gross. Honor people. Make it orgasmic. Don't make it nasty. Okay. There we go. Put my top back on here so I'll make a mess. What time is it? 6:53, and we're almost done. We just got to drop in the lovebirds, the seafood, and it'll be ready to go. Taste this one more time. Turn it down to simmer. Take the okra out of here. See what it tastes like. You guys see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? Steamy. Bam. Lobster tails. Tiger prawns. So it's about a half pound of seafood that I put in here. This is for me and my baby. Now, if I have anybody out there that can say hello to me that's from Multnomah County Juvenile Department where I work, I'll share some of this with you. But if you're not on here tonight, sorry, Charlie. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. Down on simmer. Now, it's going to kick up, and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about oneness and the whole idea of oneness. So, for some of you guys who might know this and some of you might not know it, when I was 12, I wanted to be a Catholic priest. And I went to the seminary. And what really got me about it was it always seems like I didn't pay attention to how stupid people were back then, even with Yeshua days. But the whole aspect of how it seemed like he was always trying to create oneness with people and challenging people with their points of view. And when I was 12, I was like, man, I want to do that. Well, lo and behold, I did something a little bit different, but I still have the same philosophy behind actually desiring to make people have a space or help people find a space where they can choose more oneness or greatness of themselves and others. But what I'm really realizing is that a person has to be able to see that within themselves. They have to choose it and say, you can't make them do that. No matter if you're in, me and Dare was talking about, even some of our bosses, supervisors don't see that. They let buffoonery take over before they actually step into oneness, or they let their egos get in the way. What if we could just check our egos for? What if it was tomorrow we woke up and we just checked our egos at the door and be like, fuck it, we don't leave them at the door. We're gonna look at oneness. And oneness doesn't mean that you leave somebody out or you have to be all the fucking same. I ain't talking about a fucking soup. I want you to see this dish. Can you tell the difference between the tomatoes, the okra, and the shrimp and sausage? It's not just fucking vomit. It's different things in this pot that brings out a beauty that the nose and the lips and the mouth and the belly actually enjoy. The flavors, the smells. Not talking about oneness where it's one, we all fucking one, we all look the same. I'm not saying that. That's bullshit. What I'm saying is, what if your pot of gumbo, y'all hear that and smell that? Started to represent how we are as one people. I'm gonna plate this up because it looks like the shrimp. So this is the thing about it. Shrimp don't take that much time to cook. Okay. I'll stir it around. Once they start turning pink, they're ready. Most people, when they cook shrimp, they overcook it. So what you can do is, at this point, I know you're gonna be like, I'm gonna turn the pot off. Why am I turning the pot off? The heat, this is electric instead of gas. Gas might be a little bit different, but still the heat from the pot will cook the rest of the shrimp. Doesn't take, shrimp take about 3 minutes to cook. Okay. Most people make them rubbery and you're like, what the fuck is that? Is that fish bait? No, that was an overcooked shrimp. Anyway, having fun and oneness. I'm gonna plate this up. I made some rice. I'm gonna show you guys real quick what this looks like if you serve it up. So in the past, you guys complain like you cook, but you never showed us what it looked like. So I cooked this rice earlier. I'm not gonna make very much because I'm gonna eat with my wife. So, but I want you guys to see. I know I'm speaking, you guys, and I'm actually my back and I'm off screen, but you can hear my camera, right? Robert, what's up, man? Yeah, pretty good. Thanks, cuz. I appreciate it. And also, y'all, let's put our special shout out to our family. My cousin died. Uh, Jody Little died in Mississippi, and just a loss. But one of the things that I do remember when I was a kid, because I hadn't seen her since I was a kid, is that she always seemed to enjoy life. So I hope she's enjoying the next phase of this thing I call living above beyond where we are right now. Okay. So I'm gonna do like this. Is what it looked like. See, this has a gravy that comes with it now. Okay. Can y'all see that? Can you see it? Oh, let me put it up like because I'm putting it the wrong camera. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. And it's steamy and it has a wine flavor. And when the flavors, and I'm gonna let this cook for a little bit more, like let's simmer for a little bit more. Can you smell it? I'm sorry y'all can't smell it. Oh, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Once again, I knocked it out the damn park. Let me taste one of these sausages. Mmm. The sausages I use, excuse me, was chicken and beef. The hot link was beef. We got it from White. That's right, White. That's gonna sound crazy. White Butchers over in Gresham, Oregon. Everybody in my job is talking about these hot links. They're, I use one, and I'm glad I just used one because it has a little bite at the very, very back end. You don't want something to be so hot that when you put it in your mouth, your butt closes up like that. That's not what you want. You want something that's gonna linger, and you can taste the flavor of the pepper. And by the way, second round of cookies are done. Voila. Pops, they're on their way. If Tori and I don't eat them all, we won't eat them all. There you have it, people. Thanks for hanging out with me another evening. Sorry I was away a little bit, but I was gaining more consciousness. Uh, man, man, do it because it doesn't take long. Y'all see it. All the prep time and stuff, it probably took me, it is 7:01. So you see how fast I put that together. The rice I cooked, the rice took about an hour in the rice cooker over there. So and you can get rice cookers that you can actually cook things prior to when you get home. They can start. The prep probably took about 20 minutes. So treat yourself to real good food that you cook. And while you're doing that, have people around that you could talk to so you can break bread and create that oneness that we're missing. You know, if it's in your church, sometimes people in the church, they only have the oneness with people in the church, and the rest of the week they do separation. And I don't get it because the Christ never did that shit. Now, excuse me for my language. If you're offended, you know who I am. I love you. Until next week, peace, deuces. Have a wonderful day, evening. Be you. Oh, do me a favor. Be kind to you. And if you see somebody, let them know that they are living and say, what's up? Peace. Let's see. Lo-fi. I don't know, 503. Who's that? You got to tell me who you are. Hit me up if you miss it. Be kind. Be kind. Be kind. Be kind. My brothers in Savalti, I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Peace.